Hello, traveller, and welcome to Mandatory Redistribution Party. Do you ever think about the state? I bet you do. I bet you're thinking about the state right now, with its ability to make and enforce laws through the legitimate use of violence in a defined territory. I bet you're thinking about seizing it. Do you want to seize the state? Yeah, just a little state. Go on. You deserve it. What's that I hear you whisper into your phone or other podcast-playing device? The state is simply a tool of the ruling class. It represented the slave-owning class in slave civilizations, the land-owning class in feudalism, and in our own society, the capitalist class. So if the working class get the state, jobs are good'un. We're the ruling class, right? Just gotta get a socialist elected. Job done. Can't see any problems with that. Unless...
The year is 2024. You, Sean Morley, have had a meteoric rise to become the leader of Britain's main left-wing party.
Oh, yeah.
The Work Party.
Oh, pretty good.
Against incredible odds, you have defeated the Capitalist Party, the Stasis Party.
Yeah. In an election or...
Yep.
Oh, phew.
No, you just roundhouse kicked them all.
Yeah.
Every one of them you roundhouse kicked.
That's pretty good.
Can you do a roundhouse kick?
It's a roundhouse kick where you like jump up and you like flip. You're sort of like spinning like a top, and you hit them with your foot during the spin.
You go around the house.
Wow, that doesn't seem like a good way of kicking. That's like a way of kicking for like style points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, minimise the damage to them, but it looks good. It's probably
it hits hard, the roundhouse kick, if you do it properly.
Yeah,
big time.
I can't do a roundhouse kick, but if needs be, if it's for the global left.
Let's say you had leaders debates, and in one of them you just said, "I'll roundhouse kick you, you fucking bastard," and that's one of the reasons. And then they were like, "No, you aren't." And then you go, "Well, do you want to fucking try that then?" I don't know why your personality is like radically changed, but that's one of the reasons for your meteoric rise.
Imagine a world in which a left-wing leader could do that in a public debate, and then like the newspapers report on it in just a matter-of-fact, neutral tone. Yeah. Here's the thing that happened, and then it just goes on with what the other parties responded with, and then the article just continues.
Just a photo of you roundhouse kicking.
Yeah. It's just a photo of me mostly caught in motion blur, but everyone else around them who've remained still, you can just see you can see the whites of their eyes. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Try and frame this in a way that isn't favourable to me.
Yeah. Try and downplay this with the youth vote.
Try and censor this meme.
Yeah. Try and get this off Twitter.
Just gifs of you roundhouse kicking the leader of the Stasis Party.
Oh, you know how like people who've signed up to this political party will get these regular newsletter updates? This one is just the gif. It just comes out direct from HQ.
Yeah, full 4K HDR gif. So you're in.
I'm sold.
You move into 10 Downing Street. Is there anything you'd bring with you? What would you... Would you go into 10 Downing Street, or would you move Downing Street to Sheffield?
I feel like what I'd do is I'd get decking.
Who's deck? Oh, I thought deck in. Right.
Okay. This is like when I'm calm. All right. I'd get like a nice patio.
I think it's got a patio around the back, surely.
No, I want like a front patio.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just becomes like, do you know, like in America, you'll have like a stoop out in front of these like big high-rise Amsterdam-style buildings.
Yeah.
A lot of like working-class neighbourhoods, people just sort of hang out on like the stoop of their steps.
You want a stoop? So you want like a rocking chair?
This would be like a sort of community patio. Constant BBQ on the go.
BBQ?
Barbecue.
Sorry, what?
Barbecue. Like an outdoor...
Yeah, but what's BBQ stand for? Barbecue's one word. It begins with a B.
Yeah, barbecue. Questions?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
We got 2 barbecues, and in the middle, the press.
Yeah. A veggie one.
Yeah.
Meat one.
So they don't touch.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even like the oils that will be on the little grill mesh.
Yeah.
You don't want that to go on your corn dog.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, that's fine.
Corn dog. Okay, they're going to come at you for corporate sponsorship there. You're in with Quorn.
Not Quorn, it's my own recipe.
Morley Seitan.
Well, let's not. I think the press could do a lot with that. Not seitan.
You're just going to have to stick to peppers or something.
Yeah. Just a fried banana in tinfoil.
Oh, yeah.
You've not had that?
No. Sounds great.
Yeah, you put a banana in tinfoil, stick it on the barbecue, and then eat it hot. It's just good.
All right.
It's just nice. Yeah.
Okay. They might think you're in with the banana lobby, but...
Yeah, Banana Republic.
This straight away.
Yeah.
They've got you.
What can you barbecue?
What can you barbecue on your deck outside 10 Downing Street?
Okay, so we got to pretend we're head of comms.
Yeah.
What do we advise our leader to barbecue?
It's you, mate. It's you. So this is the conversation right now.
Right. And you're what? Are you my head of comms? Or you just still Jack Evans?
No, I'm still Jack. I'm just hanging out.
You exist outside of the hypothetical.
Yeah.
I'm within it, and somehow we're talking across that veil.
Yeah.
Okay. Try and conceptualize that.
No, I can be head of comms. I don't know why you would appoint me to that though. That's foolish.
Who have I got to cast?
Who would you like? Who'd be your head of comms?
No, I mean we've got 2 mics and 2 people. Yeah. If there's a role that needs playing, it's going to be you.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I mean in the hypothetical.
Oh, you're asking why would I hire you?
Well, no, not why would you? I presume you wouldn't hire me.
I would.
Who would you get?
I think I'd get a director. I'd really want to be like framed really nicely.
Ken Loach, David Lynch.
Yeah, I'd want
David Lynch. Can you be my head of comms?
Yeah, I just want Dutch angles and non sequiturs.
Yeah, you can.
And for that to become an aesthetic that just becomes the norm.
David Lynch will only be your head of comms if he can also be the Minister for Transcendental Meditation.
Yeah, with massive hearing aid in, shouting.
Shouting encouragement.
Yeah, like really positive, just loud.
Yeah.
And instead of the cat moving in, I've got that baby from Eraserhead. Well, an interesting choice there from the new Prime Minister. Could you barbecue?
What's completely inoffensive?
Yeah, press neutral. A potato.
Yeah, but you have to use. It has to be a British potato.
King Edward's.
Go, Maris pie, anything with a flag on it. But it can't be. You have to change every time you do a barbecue to a different potato because you can't show loyalty to one brand.
They're going to blur it out on the news anyway.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a potato and you wouldn't be able to like reverse engineer the image to know what that is, they'd blur out just the lump.
I don't think if you barbecued a potato, they could frame that negatively. Oh, do you know what they'd say? Morley barbecues potato. New PM barbecues potato, : boring fuck.
Being boring is probably one of the least offensive things you can do.
Potato minister.
Potato minister.
Yeah,
I mean, they would, but I think I'd survive that.
People might like it.
Yeah, potato minister.
Potato minister.
Sounds good. Sounds like a nice guy. Sounds like the mascot for a crisp packet.
So you're in. What would be your priority?
Oh, right. I'm Prime Minister.
What's power? Yeah.
End homelessness.
Boom, straight away.
That would be my first thing.
Yeah.
That was like my massive big one with Labour. End homelessness.
As in like rough sleeping or homelessness as a total thing?
I think rough sleeping first.
Yeah, priority.
Because I used to work for a homelessness charity.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And so homelessness refers to unstable living environments. Mainly that you don't have like a domicile to call your own to be in. Rough sleeping's like the tip of the iceberg. Rough sleeping represents how many people are homeless that you can't see because they're not rough sleeping. Because only a percentage of people end up in a position where they're actually on the streets. So ultimately you have to end all homelessness. But that would be my priority. I think that would change the whole fabric of society in a way that wealth distribution takes longer to be felt. No one is sleeping on the streets anymore, and yesterday they were. It's a very fast transformation.
What are you going to do? How are you going to do it?
Fund shelters, fund places people can go to, and those shelters are like fully stocked with advisors who can put people in touch with social housing projects, and also I'm funding new social housing projects. And the thing to kickstart that is to forcibly open up homes that are not being used and just held or kept in cycles of futures speculation.
This is where they're going to come out here. Morley government seizes hard-working billionaires' homes for scroungers.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
and then I seize the press.
But that's what they do.
So hang on, I've been roundhouse kicking all my opponents until I've landslided an election.
Yeah.
And now they're still trying to play politics with reframing me against different class interests.
Yeah,
I've just been kicking.
even.
I've kicked my way to number 10.
Oh yeah, no.
Why are they still playing the politics
enough of the
game?
people love you. You got a landslide, but you did it by getting you got 1 million more votes than the Stasis Party.
Yeah.
But still 12 million people voted for them.
Okay.
And the press hate you.
It's like with Trump, people saying, when he roundhouse kicked all the opposition, that should have been it. In a normal country, in a normal time, that would have been the end of the election, and yet here we are.
And there's the people in your own party, Parliamentary Work Party. And
Is this
they don't. They're
got
not
some
happy either.
allegorical
They're not
elements to
us
either,
by.
mate.
They're trying to. You try and do your end homelessness legislation. They don't want to vote for it.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
All right, so I got two choices: whip or purge.
Okay.
Whip or purge. Whip or purge. I chant to myself
As David Lynch nods.
late at night, staring at a rainstorm with a stress ball in each hand. Whip or purge.
Whip or purge.
So I guess by the time I've got into number 10, it's a bit too late to purge. I should have purged before.
Oh, right. So you should have purged before.
I should have purged as leader. And then be like, I'm leader. Here's what's happening. So I feel like you can't purge when you've just come in. So you have to whip.
But all a whip is a threat of a purge, isn't it? It is, if you don't vote this way, we will remove you from the work parties.
Yeah.
It's a threat.
Purge light.
It's not whip or purge, it's whip then purge.
Purge a bit, otherwise the whip doesn't really have any weight.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
It.
You got
When you whip, you show you want to minimise your purge.
You try and whip them. They're worried. They think they got in off the back of their own personal charisma or whatever.
Yeah. Even though this leader must be massively unpopular, I raised the national vote.
Yeah.
Me.
A couple of them, they disobey the whip. What are you going to do then?
In the UK House of Cards, which is where I get all my understanding of how a parliamentary whip works.
And it's pretty accurate.
What the guy does in that is he knows all the secrets. He knows that everyone in the Conservative Party is a paedophile.
Yeah.
So he'll just tell them. But then
you would hope that no one in the PWP is a pedo. Or you could accuse them of being
I'm not
nonces.
saying they're pedos.
The nonce dossier. You have a nonce dossier on every one of the PWP.
Yeah, I very intentionally have only allowed people into the party who are paedophiles. So
The only way you can have...
because my whip needs to be effective.
Oh my God.
Everyone must have something, especially if you're a deeply unpopular party with the press. So you actually only need slim pickings. You only need them to have said poo when they're 15.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you can get them ousted from their council.
Yeah, but all you do, if you remove the whip from them, they're no longer officially part of your party, but they retain their seat as an
seat
MP.
as independent.
So it doesn't
it's
help
not,
you.
Yeah, purge only goes so far because you are just lowering your majority.
Exactly. You need to pre-purge.
Well, you've said I've got to number 10, so the time travel.
We can't no time travel. Yeah.
No time travel.
But you're
that's the
saying
rule
you
of
defo
politics.
purged for that reason.
I would have attempted an early purge. Yeah, I mean,
succeed. You
I
go
wouldn't have called it a
roundhouse kicking
purge.
people.
I'd just be like, we need to establish what our values are and make sure there's coherence amongst the leadership. Oh, I'm afraid you have sort of disobeyed us and it feels like you're causing friction for no reason, so I might ask you to take a more junior position. Oh, what's that? You've decided to leave because the junior position was actually sort of a non-position with a much lower salary designed as an insult. Well, that's a shame because now you have chosen to leave and I actually really wanted to retain you.
Shit.
Oh, boy.
And then you're going to have to call them a nonce and roundhouse them.
Yeah. Release the dossier. So how do I bring...
How do you get them to vote for your homeless? They think
maybe I've got to give them some kind of wonk concession for carrier bags or whatever.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
There's a lot of benign wonk policies that are, for whatever reason, popular.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one of those that they happen to care about that aren't too antithetical to the overhaul proposals that I have.
Okay.
There's no reason why we can't have socialism, but carrier bags are now 10p. Those two things don't bring each other down.
Well,
under socialism, people should be able to afford a slightly more expensive carrier bag.
And be reusing it.
Yeah, should be doing that anyway.
And that'll get them on side.
Potentially.
Do you foresee any other problems? So you get your homeless. Do you think you're going to get that through? Hypothetically, you get it through. Okay. What else would you be worried about?
If I'm a socialist prime minister,
yeah,
I want to push everything through and make as much change as I possibly can, because my platform is change compared to the Stasis Party, which is we're definitely not going to make things worse. My platform has to be, I need to have results for the idea that change can make things better. So things need to come out fast enough so that the results of those changes, the positivity that I'm banking on, is present for the next election, right? So I'm actually going very fast early on. So that's why I'm saying homelessness, because I think it provides fast change. There's no point doing an infrastructure project that takes 7 years and is outside the scope of my term.
Yeah, and then you lose and the other next guys take credit for it.
And they take credit for it because they're like, look at how good trains are and buses are under our government. It's like, well, hang on. But that is what would happen. So I need to think of like these fast turnaround little victories. So I guess I need to like look across the country at what's a really popular but very solvable problem that is just solved by structural change or investment-based change.
Yeah.
Bang, I've just funded this thing that obviously needed it.
Okay. So you're trying to get your homelessness thing through for the reasons you just said. The House of Lords block it.
Well, you know, it's been really nice having a House of Lords. It's fun to have, but
you can't override the House of Lords.
Huh?
You can't if it kicks back like a couple of times.
I need fast changes. It goes back and forth. Goes back and forth like 3 times, and then I can force
a bunch
it.
Of times, yeah.
So that like
you're gonna fuck them off.
I can't do this every single time.
You're gonna be called a traitor for that. All of the old work party ones that got put in there are going to turn on you.
Yeah, the ones who think they're the real work party.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be wrecking.
Yeah. Alan Sweetener. And the other hypothetical individuals. Okay, so I can't abolish. This is hard. This is like when you start really going into the weeds with this. It's actually tough to govern. Who would have thunk? Game of Thrones made it seem like it was pretty easy.
Yeah. You just get the throne.
Yeah, you just appeal to the loyalty in the north. Bob's your uncle.
Smash it.
Yeah, that was my plan as a socialist leader. What do the Lords want? They're just there as an obstacle. There's nothing they want to legislate for. Some of them might have some incredibly wonkish. Not even wonkish.
News just in. Sorry, why are you thinking about this? A NATO country's been attacked, and now you're obliged by a treaty alliance to go into a huge war.
Oh right.
Sorry, yeah, but keep thinking about the Lords.
Yeah, well, okay, homelessness. What that way? I'm sorry. Let me think. And what's public opinion on the war? Do they want the war? The House probably wants the war.
The House, a lot of people in the House want the war.
Including some people in
your
my own
hardcores,
party.
you've only got about 40 hardcores that are on your side, and the rest is legacy PWP.
Well, it's going to be legacy and also like my mates' children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's got a bit weird.
So you got them to worry about. The Lords are frothing for it. The press is universally saying, we have to. They're going war. Some of the press are going, oh, well, we don't want a war, but we should. And probably down the line they'll be like, oh, that was bad. But at the point they're like, it seems
there's
like
a lot of grizzled faces like edited next to headlines that go, the moral reason for war.
Yeah.
Comment is free. Do I go to war?
He could roundhouse kick in the interview, but he cannot roundhouse kick when it matters.
There are occasions in wars where there is like a very clear alternative aggressor, and you can at least front some kind of peacekeeping force that doesn't actually do a whole lot, but acts as a deterrent to an aggressor, and you just make it this kind of short-term in and out thing. And what I'm saying is that wars are different.
Yeah.
There can be an Iraq war where you just heavily invest your soldiers, and there comes no viable point to like pull them out.
Yeah.
And then there are stuff that's like done in a year. Do I kill the innocent to protect the homeless? Don't do that weird laugh like I've done a off-colour Have I Got News For You joke.
No.
This is the problem I've been...
I'm like, you can't see, I'm laughing at, like, Sean's face is, like, doing really hard maths.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I'm like the gif of the woman seeing all the algebra in front of her face. If it could be determined that I do a war and the war would allow me to stop homelessness, I might.
Depends on the war. I've made up the war.
Here is a very provisional piece of reasoning.
Okay.
Is that the military-industrial complex has been a constant. Mm-hmm. It has been a constant from before I was born, long before I was born. Mm. And the only thing that's going to stop it is a successful socialist government.
Mm-hmm. That's you.
Creating changes.
Yeah.
Here is the tip of the iceberg of my intentions. It is to stop homelessness. That's like that it was always part of my plan to start on that. I haven't overturned the military-industrial complex. You need a long-term plan for that. And that long-term plan,
doing a war will help that?
And that long-term plan is not getting to government, go, oh, I won't do the first war I get to, and then get like impeached or voted no confidence and sent away. So it was never my plan to overturn that straight away. And I feel like I'm setting myself up for a fall in some way. But I feel like there is a branch of reasoning that may well lead to ruin. But as a short-term thing to at least allow me to move forward between two impossible solutions, I would continue to comply with the long-term traditions of embarking in NATO-based military action in order to begin this long-term strategy that hopefully at some point will allow the base and the fervour and appetite to start pulling back from that stuff in the future. Does that make any sense? Or is that completely hubristic?
I mean, let's think about it while we consider the next problem, which is that the war that you've committed to, and in addition to your single social program of helping homelessness, are astronomically expensive, particularly the war bit. Unfortunately, one of your plans to do this was to increase taxes, and there has been mass capital flight.
I've increased taxes for the war. And
you increased taxes anyway, and now you're going to have to increase them even more.
Right. For the war. So I'm going to get less taxes in future, but also I'm wildly unpopular with like the capitalist.
Yeah, you've got capital flight. Capital flight can be exaggerated. So it's just because, you know, in American states, they set taxes, certain taxes they set themselves, not like federal taxes. So there can be capital flight within America from like state to state. But the richest people move the least. The millionaires move way less than the poorest people, state to state. And you'd think they would move because if a place introduces a tax,
told you are. They're just you're told these people will move.
But they're doing it. They are doing it. It's happened. Some of them have gone. So your tax base has decreased.
Yeah, it's happening, but it's exaggerated, and it's partially caused by the fact that I signed up to this war, so I had to raise taxes even more than they expected, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. Well, onward, Christian soldiers. You know, I've started the thing, just need to finish this war.
Yeah. The war's just Russia's tried to acquire Ukraine.
Okay, so a simple war against Russia. Famously easy country.
But through like proxies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've not just invaded Ukraine, a paramilitary backed by people. Not to be like Russophobic or whatever here, I'm just using it as to get a little bit more of a handle on a real example.
Yeah. And that confuses the thing because you're not directly fighting Russian soldiers, it's not conventional warfare. It looks like it's a new popular front. And
it's like a civil war in Ukraine.
Yeah, and some people of my own party are like, well, no, this is a popular uprising as we as a leftist group. Are we not interested in people being allowed to like rise up against leadership that they think is like dictator or authoritarian? And it's actually more complicated than that. And it's not clear.
But it's also...
I hate this. I hate this whole... This is the most stressful scenario you've ever put me in. This is...
it's quite stressful. I'm sorry.
Imagine living this.
Oh, and just something for the back of your head.
Yeah.
Because of the government that's been in previously until 2024, the whole climate thing's got quite a lot worse. And all the problems we've already seen in Britain, you know, like Norfolk sliding into the sea because of erosion, moorlands in the northwest going up in smoke, floods like in Yorkshire. And, you know, scorched farms in the south, so there's less food and we're more dependent on food imports. All that stuff's just like ramping up. And in order to like reverse that, you know, your platform, even though you know it needs to be done internationally, you were like, we're going to lead and we're going to do like some sort of green Morley industrial revolution to try and rebalance the economy to reduce this. And that's also quite expensive. That's another thing to be thinking about.
Martial law. What do we do? It's martial law now.
No, no one needs to do anything. I'm just saying, do you reckon?
Martial law.
Why martial law?
It's just, do you know...
What's justified in martial law? It's just easier.
I'm getting stressed out, so I'm just doing martial law.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know, like, sometimes If I can't open an envelope neatly, I just rip it open.
Yeah.
And that's something that takes me 3 seconds.
Okay.
So this is just doing my head in. So just doing martial law.
But who do you require to be on your side to do martial law?
The army.
Okay, they don't like you, buddy. They don't like you.
They're going to like me once I give them what they always want, martial law. They want martial law.
Dare I suggest that if you put martial law in place, they may seize power for themselves and then reinstall
because
the people.
basically I've allowed them halfway towards a coup to begin with.
Yeah, so they might put the Stasis party back in power or some random royal.
I gave them martial
put the
law.
Queen in charge.
Yeah, gave you martial law, and what did you do? You made the law
He did a military.
relating directly to the military, which isn't what I wanted.
No, you wanted Morley law.
Yeah, I wanted me, but with I'm the army. Okay, how do I do this? And just to check, we're living in like this world. There's no magic.
There's no magic. No,
Okay.
no. Worth checking.
It's good because that would be a good out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Good third act reveal. So the army don't really like me, although they are doing a war that I don't want. Probably getting angry with me if that doesn't go very well.
Yeah, they're blaming you for their errors. Yeah, if anything does go badly wrong, yeah.
Do you know what? I'll just throw, I don't want to do this, but I'll just throw them a bone and I'll say that if they do like any major war crimes or they hurt civilians, we'll just put a block on investigating that. Just to get us through. And then we'll sort homelessness out.
Right, but what? Just to clarify, right? So you've gone, task one, I'll get homelessness through, and then because of a war that you pretty quickly were like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
I took 2 minutes, thank you very much.
Yeah, but there was a thought process. So you're in the war, tax hikes, climate breakdown. Capital flight,
yeah,
and then you've announced martial law pretty quick. And what was the socialist aspect you've achieved?
Can I unmartial law?
Control Z?
Yeah. Can you all just go back to the barracks, please? I've had a big think. I was on the gin.
You're on 2 barbecues.
Yeah, it's this bloody potato.
Yeah, off his head on potato.
Yeah.
Carved up.
What's my latest problem?
Climate breakdown. It's not really a latest problem. It's been going on for a few years, but you've inherited it.
And are we any closer to colonising Mars?
Oh, no. Elon Musk has that. It's an independent state.
And I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
Could we in any way, and this, again, might not work, there needs to be a safe space for me to express ideas.
This is just a hypothetical.
We're just spitballing,
yes.
right? Could we bifurcate society so that some people live on the top and then some people live sort of underground, like permanently underground, and they're sort of all the industrial workers and they're shielded from the UV.
Yeah.
And then on top are like these childlike beings that can just eat the fruit and just sort of enjoy.
There's books on shelves, but when you try and grasp it, it crumbles in your hands.
Yeah, because they've not been touched.
Yeah.
And it's and everyone's sort of just playing in a sort of childlike way in the ruins of a forgotten society. And
well, that doesn't feel like socialism.
It's a kind of socialism.
How?
Huh?
How's it? Can you break that down for me?
Well,
bud?
on top, that's definitely socialism because everyone's got what they need.
Right. Yeah, but that.
So hang on. On top,
yeah,
socialism definitely.
Okay.
Because everyone's had all their needs met.
Yeah, but that's like saying the rich have. Okay, okay. Fine, I might not be understanding.
Yeah. And that's the end of the thought.
Sorry, news just in.
Okay.
There's a far-right paramilitary as a setup.
Yeah, martial law's back on. Lads, martial law's back on.
Unfortunately, some of the guys from your martial law are in that far-right. They're not. They quite like them. Some of the soldiers have been seen with.
I'll tell the media it's just the circle game, and they're just playing the circle game. They don't mean anything. But it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So it's in Malcolm in the Middle. It means you get a dead arm. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell the press that. I'll be shouting it through the plumes of barbecue smoke. It's just the circle game. They're good lads. No, they did do some stuff in the Ukraine, but I'm not going to look into it. Okay, so everything's like racism's really big, not just big, but like street level big. Mm-hmm. The racism carnivals in town.
Yeah. And unfortunately, some of the army and the police, unfortunately.
Let me have a good think about this. So we really need to get back on track. So I really want to end homelessness.
Yeah.
Okay, so Okay. Just for the listener, I'm rubbing my face really hard.
Yeah.
I've taken my glasses off and I'm rubbing my eyes. And I'm genuinely
in a matter of minutes,
stressed out.
Sean has gone from quite chilled and awake to looking really like he's in pain.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like being grilled hard. Do you know like the phone hacking scandal in that big room? Where did they do all those big inquiries? And they put someone who's being questioned on this one desk, and then there's loads of people really high up sort of asking them questions, and then everyone's around them, and it's not like even a nice room. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm there. Mm-hmm. I can feel all the listeners listening in being like, Sean's going to fuck this up.
Oh, sorry, mate. News just in. Because of the long-term effects of climate and also the kind of spread of war around the world, often kind of catalysed by these climate issues, the refugee crisis is massively exacerbated, and about 700,000 people have kind of requested asylum in Britain because they know that Sean Morley, the brave socialist leader, has often kind of expressed a sympathy to refugees. Yeah. So can they, doctors, nurses, are they all right? What are you going to do with them?
Restart the Crusades.
Sorry, what is this?
Nothing. Do you know that when Stephen Fry just was in a play and then just sort of left and went to Belgium?
Yeah.
Is that an
no? You
option?
can't. Belgium. Belgium's gone.
Belgium's gone.
You're no.
Belgium's down.
You're forbidden from Belgium for your political allegiances for some reason.
Yeah.
Roundhouse kicking's banned in Belgium.
Right, part of like an EU directive.
Yeah. Sorry, news just in. A large group of people have said that they actually voted for you because they believed you were the candidate that would achieve something called rejoin, to just kind of get back in the European Union. And they're getting a little bit angry that you're prioritising homeless people.
I haven't even done anything with homeless people. You can't use that as a thing to whip me with. I've not even started on that. I'm trying to stop.
You abolished the House of Lords and got it through.
Have I got it through?
Yeah. You gave a wonk. You got a wonk.
Oh,
you gave a wonk thing
for carrier bags.
Carrier bags
that have 10
You did it. Yeah. But you're also in the war and like there's climate breakdown.
That's all right. Then I didn't realise that. Okay, so homelessness is abolished. Carrier bags are now 10p.
Well, we say homelessness is abolished. That's become more complex. What with the huge influx of refugees?
Yes, I need more money for more shelters and more social housing.
Yeah.
And I guess the refugees is sort of exacerbating the far right militias.
Yeah, they're pointing at them and saying like, we've got to look after our own first, even though for some reason they really didn't like your homeless policy.
Yeah, which would have helped actually a lot of veterans, which is actually a lot of them. That's a real shame.
Oh, and because you abolished that House of Lords thing, a lot of people now are calling you Stalin, like a Stalin Morley, Stalin potato Morley.
Or maybe I'll give them what they want.
What? Oh, God, we've broken him. Is there anything you could think that would help you? What would help you in this situation?
Just a
chocolate milkshake?
Panzer. Chocolate milkshake, yeah, like a nice chocolate milkshake or a banana milkshake.
Yeah.
Or just, in fact, I'll have the banana and tinfoil that I put on the barbecue earlier.
Yeah.
What do I need? I need political allies. I need money.
Okay, who's going to give you money? Well, your political allies, we'll get to that, but who's going to give you money?
My main revenue stream is just going to be through taxation, and it's going to be through where else do I get money? Taxation, and where else do the government get money?
I don't know, it's up to you. Is there any money anywhere else?
Is there any money anywhere else?
Is there any money?
I could go get like a task force to go and find shipwrecks. Come on, lads. We're going to look for treasure.
Look for Kolchak's gold.
Yeah. Oh, a doubloon. I mean, I could get large donations off of multinationals. Like,
right. Why would they be giving that to a socialist prime minister?
Change of heart.
Is there another way of donation? Could you do anything else?
Seizure. Huh. Create a new set of policies which says that certain types of businesses or practices are now illegal. And we like certain kinds of exploitation or certain types of business models are illegal and will be just seized by the state.
Right.
Or just like...
Are the poop going to vote for that? PWP? Which is how it would be pronounced if it was a Welsh
Carrier
word.
bags are going to be 20p.
But then you're like relying on people buying them to even make that a revenue stream.
No.
Isn't the point that you pay for them supposed to be dissuade people?
My idea is that the centrist... No, you've misunderstood me. My whole
you're getting
idea,
the wonks.
My idea is that all the poop people who are part of
Sorry, I've made you do it.
We can't roll back from that now. Isn't this whole hypothetical story about not being able to roll back your decisions? So they're poop now.
Yeah.
And my conception of them is that they are like just centrist wonks who have no political ambitions outside of the carrier bag thing. So whenever I need anything, I just dial up the carrier bag price.
By 2026,
and they think they've got me over a barrel. I like really act like, come on, don't make me raise the carrier bag price anymore. Please don't. And I'm there thinking, I don't care. People can just carry things home in their hands. This isn't important. And I just dial it up. But I'm acting like, oh man, you really got me. You're really breaking my ass here. Carrier bags, 18p.
I feel like this could have some blowback from the people.
Yeah, the nation of Britain who rely on bags. Do you know what I'll do, right?
Right.
We're going to price everyone in the UK out of carrier bags.
Yeah.
But members of the party get a free bag in the post every week.
Oh my God. Great mass party.
Everyone joins the work party. Just for bags.
Could there be... Let's turn the ship a little.
Yeah, good, because the ship's been all over. The ship has sank.
So one of the other things was that you needed political allies. So I like this members idea. So is there any way, if the media and the business class are undermining your efforts, is there a place power could be that could counterbalance the corporate media and just kind of corporate power more generally and the tendencies of the British state? Oh, so just as a side, you are pretty certain that MI5 are spying on you and possibly the CIA.
Okay. There could be like a mass working class solidarity movement that counterbalances all of these like eddies and flows of press opinion and other institutionalized forces of the police.
Civil service resistance, military resistance.
Well, I'd hope that something like ending homelessness ends up contributing towards that, because what I'm saying is that's one of those things that doesn't just benefit the direct beneficiaries of this, the people who are now in shelters, the people that now don't sleep rough, the people who were in very uncertain housing conditions. It benefits the fabric of society because people you don't have people pushed to the brink, and you also don't have areas of towns and cities where people are living on the streets. It raises everyone up. It helps everyone. And so that's kind of what my get fast results stuff was about engendering. But the fact that I've not been able to do much of it means that the things I would need to do to create that counterpower are kind of stymied at the get-go. But I could just do some very populist
What could you do?
stuff that they like, real like low. I mean, got to cap the price of Freddos. That get Facebook on board. Free broadband.
People hate that, mate.
Oh, right.
I've heard people hate that.
That's surprising. What is like the most instantaneous, most mass appeal thing I could just chuck a wedge of money in to shore myself up against?
£50 minimum wage.
Done. Yeah, put the old rubber seal on that. £50, and I call it the living wage, and I want to shift the Overton window to that. That's the living wage.
Oh, but now there's crazy inflation.
Yeah, inflation,
and the banks are going nuts.
The inflation has gone crazy. Our
GDP's plummeting.
And that horror story that people like start peddling about, like people will just try and have fewer employees. That's literally having to happen now, because people actually overnight, people are like, none of my plans for the business add up now. Everywhere's like got a skeleton crew. Unemployment's hit record high. But then I'll just say, you get double that on the dole. Keep them sweet.
And then no one will want to remove Morley from power. Double dole.
I'm here to double dole Mall.
Double dole Morley.
Our potato prince. Yeah, sorted it. try and martial law this. And there we go. I've created mass counterpower. Everyone's rich. Or at least fine.
No, massive inflation. £50 a quid now.
Oh no, I've Weimar'd.
Yeah, you Weimar'd.
Oh, Weimar'd. Well, how do we do Weimar without fascism getting in this time?
This is a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah. How do we do a good Weimar?
Yeah.
How do we Weimar gracefully?
Have a little think about why Weimar's called Weimar.
Is it the interim government? That was
they had to go to Weimar because what was in Berlin?
No, I don't think I meant...
The communists. They had worker councils were in control of Berlin.
Oh.
Yeah. And then there were sort of Weimar guys, the equivalent of the German Labour Party. A lot of the army were like loyal in that area to like the communists, and they'd form themselves into like soldiers' councils and stuff. So they had to use these other guys to regain control, these like right-wing paramilitaries called the Freikorps. Some of them had little symbols on there. Some of them had little symbols on the helmets, like a little, this like X, but with like feet. It looked a bit like the Isle of Man flag. I don't know.
Yeah, Hindu symbol for peace. I can trust these guys.
Yeah, and some skulls, and then they went in and they killed a lot of those people, Rosa Luxemburg and that.
So
maybe...
So in Weimar, the capital city dissolved into... Power dissolved into...
Workers' councils, soldiers' councils, sailors' councils. German Revolution.
And the problem is that all the people who didn't want that just went somewhere else and formed their own counterpower and came and steamrolled through it.
Yeah, they have power. I wouldn't use the term counterpower.
Maybe not counterpower.
Counterpower is the opposite of behaving like a state. It's not. Counterpower is the intentionally not trying to acquire power or make deals with the powerful.
So even if I were to dissolve the city of London into communist councils, that still is putting us on the same trajectory as Weimar. So
no, you just don't crush the councils.
Yeah, I'm just saying it could happen. Like I just have to.
How could those councils help you?
Well, they find out from you how they can help you. Isn't that what they do? They come round and they go. But isn't that like, this is like proto-Maoist working class tendency, right? Your outreach is to find an identifiable group of working class people, and you go, what's the problem that affects you?
Yeah.
And you sit down with them and they tell you, and then you go,
like a focus group.
We're going to solve those now using collective action.
Yeah.
And then when they're solved, you go, so now that we've just told you this set of tools, do you want to have some form of political alignment with us, the people that helped you? And then you all go along down the street to the next group, and you just keep doing that until you got a mass movement.
Yeah,
just do that.
The MI5 and the CIA have overthrown the Morley government.
Oh no!
You're still technically the prime minister, but they've claimed that you've abdicated, and they've installed the leader of the Stasis Party as an interim government to just find out what's going on.
And martial law's off the cards.
They've martial lawed you.
And I can't slip them a little.
No more. The carrier bag dial is turned up so high that it doesn't. If you try and turn it anymore, it'll snap.
Right.
There's actually a carrier bag shortage.
Yeah. Global plastics
are
now
plastic.
in decline.
Yeah.
Due to this carrier bag policy. Especially because the people who are members are when you've got a drawer full of carrier bags. Party members have a room full of carrier bags. Well, there's nothing I can do now, is there? Oh, unless I become the leader of some underground resistance.
Well, it's not underground. You established workers and councils all over the place.
Okay, and I'll give them all guns.
Why?
Huh?
Why did you? Why? What could there be any bad outcomes to that?
No, not saying shoot them.
Oh, you've just given them guns. You've told them not. You haven't told them anything to do.
I say, don't shoot these, and then I wink. And then everyone knows that I'm clear from responsibility. Because everyone heard me say, don't shoot these.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who could blame you?
Exactly. Don't shoot these. Power has to be seized now. There's no wiggle room around that.
Yeah.
Power. This is the do or die. Power has to be seized now.
Okay.
And so the old institutions have to.
But are the old institutions going to go? Are they going to let that happen? It's the army and the MI5 and CIA. Are they going to let that happen?
Obviously not. So
what's going to happen, mate?
I guess you've got two things. Two options.
Yeah.
You either assassinate the heads or you just do all out war.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, those are the options, right? This power needs
Just
to
I want to
overthrow.
clarify, you seem a lot less stressed than before when you were trying to like figure out. No, you're like,
Things are a lot clearer now.
Mandatory Redistribution Party was created and produced by Sean Morley and Jack Evans. Our title theme was created by Ella Jean with additional music by Jack Evans. If you enjoy Mandatory Redistribution Party, please leave us a review, follow us on Twitter at Mando Party, and of course, yank that subscribe lever so hard you're certain it'll snap both the lever and your own arm. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.